Since the January transfer window opened a few weeks ago, Arsenal have unsurprisingly been linked with a plethora of center forwards. The Gunners are well known to be interested in signing Newcastle United's Alexander Isak. Who isn't it? Wolves' Matheus Cunha was also an option for Mikel Arteta before news of a new deal at Molineux broke. So, who could the Gunners turn to next? Summer target Benjamin Sesko is on the club's radar once again, as is Juventus powerhouse Dusan Vlahovic, who could be available after the Serie A side brought in PSG's Randal Kolo Muani. Sporting sensation Victor Gyökeres continues to be linked too. Isak would, of course, be the number one pick if money wasn't an object. Thought to be valued at around £150 million, he's one of the most in-form strikers on the planet, having scored 11 goals in his last 10 matches. Alexander Isak scores for Newcastle. Sesko, age 21, would be another fine option at a much cheaper price tag of around £70 million according to some reports. Still, there's one player we haven't mentioned who could be a better move than the Slovenian. Arsenal exploring move for new striker. Arteta's squad is particularly thin on the ground as we head into the back end of January. Raheem Sterling was the only senior forward on the bench for the 2-2 with Aston Villa, and it spoke volumes that he was the only option the manager looked at in a bid to swing the game. Make no bones about it, the Gunners simply have to sign a new forward this month or risk a disastrous end to the season. While in Victor Osimhen, they could bring in one of the best forwards on the globe. Indeed, according to reporter Pete O'Rourke, Arsenal are now exploring a move for the Nigerian this month. Osimhen had a release clause of £113 million amid rumors of a move to Chelsea last summer, but that deal didn't materialize, and to get away from Napoli, he moved to Galatasaray on a long deal. His contract in Naples was altered to include a lower release clause of £67 million, but it's not known at this stage whether Arsenal want to bring in the player permanently. Why Victor Osimhen would be a good signing for Arsenal? Speaking in 2023, Sky Italia's Filippo Benincampi said the following. He's demolishing the Italian league because the tempo is a bit slower, but in the Premier League with all that pace, the speed, the qualities and mentality, I think he'll be perfect. Well, that certainly bodes well, doesn't it? Also said to be one of the world's best strikers by goals Mark Doyle, and a monster by data analyst Ben Madison. There aren't many better in European football at finding the net. Indeed, over the last few seasons, he's not too far behind some of the best on the continent, and interestingly, he's ahead of Isak, a player Arsenal supporters have been crying out for the Gunners to sign. So, if we're judging things on goals alone, then Haaland is unsurprisingly the best forward in Europe. However, place Osimhen in the Premier League, and you'd have a player very capable of rivaling him for the best in England's top flight. While he's not played as much football as some of his competitors across the globe, his goals per 90 minutes are incredibly close to Robert Lewandowski and an Arsenal nemesis in the form of Harry Kane. That's not bad reading at all, is it? It won't be a shock to hear that he's also ahead of fellow Arsenal target Sesko. Here's how the two compare over the last 18 months or so of football. Looking at the data above, Sesko would appear to be the more all-round talent at this stage, producing more take-ons, winning more aerial battles, and having a higher shot-on-target percentage. That being said, when it comes to the two factors you'd traditionally judge a striker on, goals and assists, it's Osimhen who is out in front. Combine that with the things you don't see here too, physical strength, and you'd likely expect the Galatasaray loanee to trump Sesko. Vitally, he's also got experience on his side and has played a regular part in the Champions League over the last few seasons. While the Leipzig talent's potential is immense, Arsenal need to win the title now, and signing Osimhen, their rival to Haaland, over Sesko could just be the catalyst for that.